May 1978. An inexperienced pilot sets off from an airport in Asheville, North Carolina. His destination, Florida. As the storms build, the pilot becomes confused and lost. Traveling in the opposite direction, at 5,000 feet, he crashes his plane on Grandfather Mountain. The only passenger of the twin-engine Cessna was also the only fatality. Hey there guys, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we are going on an awesome day hike. We're going to be reaching elevations of 6,000 feet. And guys, let me tell you, it is nice and cold. Currently at 3,500 feet here, we're looking at temperatures of about 35 degrees. Now as we go up, as you can imagine, it's going to be substantially colder. Also, we have to take into account the wind chill. The winds are rocking about 25-30 miles an hour. So, we're definitely going to be feeling it. But there are some amazing views up here. It's going to be beautiful. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let's go ahead and hit the road. Alright guys, here we are. We are on the trail. The adventure, our day hike, has started. Here in just a little bit, I'll tell you guys where we are and where we're going. Have to get a permit first. Check out the bear advisor here. Alright guys, we have a map and we also have a permit to be out here. I'm gonna keep both of these in my jacket. Let's keep on going, guys. Guys, we have come up to the Nawadi Trail. We are not starting here, but we will finish here. We are at the Trailhead. This is the Daniel Boone Scout Trail. And we are going to be heading about 5 miles up 2,000 feet to the Callaway Mountain Peak. It's going to be a beautiful day. It's a little bit windy, but already I'm starting to warm up pretty good. Taking off some layers here. Right now, guys, it's about 35 degrees up here, but this elevation game, I am sweating my brains out. So I'm going to keep this layer on for now. I may take it off as we start going up, who knows. But we are in for an awesome day. There's some amazing scenery up here. A plane crash, I'll show you the wreckage. It's going to be awesome. Thank you so much for joining me. We might as well get started. For this little trip, we are following the White Blazes, guys. Now, guys, I tell you, this is just about straight uphill here. We might be a mile in so far. As you guys can tell, the winds are just rocking up here. It's definitely cold, but to be honest with you, I'm about to ditch this shirt. I'm too hot, too sweaty. You guys know me. I like to keep a really good pace. I like to go fast. And really, to be able to keep up with that pace, I've got to take this off. It's just too hot. Now, I do want to extend a personal thanks to my buddy Jim on Facebook. He's the one that actually recommended this trip, this trail, and I took him up on his suggestion. I also have the FILBE assault pack, and that's because You guys wanted to see a military surplus item on this trip. Now, as far as clothing goes, guys, if you saw my gear loadout for this trip, I'm basically wearing just the same stuff that I showed off in the video. Now, for my warmer insulating layers, you know, I have that pullover, which I just showed you, which I just had on. I have a zip-up hoodie that's like a special thermal fleece, super duper hot. I had to take that thing off almost immediately. The shell that I was wearing is a Marmot Minimalist jacket. It's a Gore-Tex Packlight, super, super nice, fairly inexpensive when it comes to shells. Very good quality. Whew, it feels amazing out here, no doubt about it. Now, honestly, folks, when it comes to winter time here in the mountains, 35 degrees isn't cold at all. You know, by the end of, winter, as we're going into spring, when it hits 35 degrees, people will be wearing shorts around here. That's the type of winters that we have. Guys, let's go. The trail that we're on right now, the Daniel Boone Scout Trail up to Callaway Mountain, is often described as the trail that gets people into hiking and backpacking. Once we get higher up, you'll see why that is. Very nice trail, very secluded. You do have to have a permit, but permits are free. It's for your own good anyway. Why not leave some information behind, right? The real bonus to this is that you can camp out here. And guys, we will definitely do that. I promise. Very soon. Definitely cold. But I tell you guys, it feels like we have been hiking for miles and miles and miles instead of just 1 mile. And that's because of this uphill. It's very strenuous. Right now it's not too difficult, but it will get there. It's just very, very steep. I'm definitely a little bit cold. As we go up here, I may have to put my thermal shirt back on. Or maybe I'll just put my shell on. That might help just break that wind. It's definitely very cold up here. It's funny, the moisture that's soaking into my backpack from my back is actually steaming off of this backpack. It's definitely cold. And really what it is just that wind right here. Now this here, guys, is a great jacket. As I said before, this is the Marmot Minimalist. It is a Gore-Tex shell. Very breathable, very waterproof, windproof. And it really feels awesome. The quality is excellent. It really is. Alright. I'll tell you guys, I love it that I'm the only one out here right now. Or at least I'm not hearing anybody. I'm not seeing anybody. That was kind of the thing that I was worried about with this trail, as it's extremely popular. But with the weather being what it is, cold and windy, I figured that, you know, there may not be too many adventurous souls out here. It looks like I figured right. Now, one thing I have done, guys, is kind of slowed down my pace a little bit. The truth is, it's better to go slow than to be soaking wet in sweat, especially when you're in a very cold environment. And plus, I'm not in a rush. Who knows what sort of cool things and views we're going to see today. This is my first time out here. And guys, it is gorgeous. Now, further up, guys, this trail will become more difficult. There's ladders, there's cables, there's some scrounging. It's gonna be sweet. Now, right now, we are in a little bit of a pine forest. Woo! Already, guys, we are making fantastic progress. Let me tell you what. Let me show you guys this sign here, and it'll kind of show you where we're headed to. We are currently on the Daniel Boone Scout Trail, right? That's where we started. We will be heading to the Balsam shelter and then to Callaway Peak. That's our final destination before we come back. Now, when we come back here, we will be taking the Nawadi Trail. Nawadi actually means medicine, by the way. Cherokee. Before we continue on the trail, we're actually going to climb up this rock here and take a look at the views. This is known as Flat Rock. But before I do that, guys, it is wicked cold up here. The wind is rocking. It's not so bad when you're sheltered by the trees, but up here, whew, man oh man. We'll go ahead and put our gloves on too. I am going to go ahead and put my thermal fleece jacket back on. It is just so cold right now. See guys, you know, that's why having layers is so vital. It would be a mistake to come up here just thinking that the weather is going to be one way, because when you're in the mountains, when you're at elevation such as this, it changes on a dime. I tell you what, that's another really good example of why you don't want to sweat. I tell you, absolutely killer up here. Awesome gloves on here. I'm very glad that I stopped back there, kind of cooled off a little bit, kind of dried off, and slowed my pace down. It was a smart thing to do. That is a whole lot better. All right, guys, let's go. It is, without a doubt, guys, extremely windy up here. This right here is probably about 45 miles an hour. As you can probably see from my face, it's definitely cold. Gorgeous. Wow, guys. Absolutely gorgeous. Check this view out. Cold. Okay guys, we're back here at the sign. We're about to continue our trek towards the Balsam shelter. Now for the rest of this trip we will be following the white blazes. Now when we come back here, we will start following the red ones. This rock formation right here, guys, is spectacular. Look at that. Here we keep on going, guys. The ground up here is actually frozen. This is the first time this year that I've actually seen ice like this. Very cold indeed. Now, as I'm hiking along here, guys, you know, we'll talk about clothing and layering once again. You know, it's kind of like I said in my loadout video. It's all about layers, especially when it comes to the third and the fourth season. If I came out here with the mindset that it was going to be 40 degrees, I'm going to hike up this mountain, be nice and hot, I'm not going to need these layers, buddy, first off, we would have turned around a while ago. The second, I mean, you're just playing Russian roulette, basically. But you know, I came here prepared. I have layer after layer. Check this out, 1.5 miles. I'll tell you what, guys, that is a very slow 1.5 miles. Like I was saying, you're playing Russian roulette when you don't plan ahead, when you don't bring the proper gear and clothing. I mean, as you guys can see, my face is a little bit red. It's cold. There's no doubt about it. You could be extremely cold and be sweating your brains out at the same time. Now, luckily, I'm going slow and I'm warm. So basically, guys, the point is, anytime that you go out, go to enjoy the best, but plan for the worst. Simple as that. A couple of ounces in your backpack could be the difference between no trip, a horrible trip, and an awesome trip. Definitely starting to get sweaty again. It's time to take a break and just kind of cool off here for a little bit. Whew. Just taking the beanie off helps a great deal. Might as well stop and have a snack too. Let's see, what do we have today, guys? I think I'm gonna go for one of these pumpkin pie square things. I don't know exactly what this is. I better check and make sure it doesn't say for women only or something on it. Gonna open my jacket here just to cool off a little bit. Let some of that sweat evaporate. Absolutely gorgeous out here, guys. Oh man, that is pretty good. It needs to be like the size of your head because that little square, that's ridiculous. Just about anything pumpkin is awesome. Definitely feels good now that we stopped, kind of cooling off a little bit. Almost cold again. About time to start rocking and rolling. All right, guys, let's go. Mile number 2. Our adventure here continues. And it is beautiful up here, guys. So far, pretty easy going other than, you know, being straight uphill. Not very technical at all. Supposedly that will change later on though. Just kind of going slow with my pace here. I'm trying not to get too hot where I have to take some layers off. It's kind of nice just to go slow and stay cool to warm than to take a layer off and be cold and have to go fast to stay warm. So it's all about finding that right balance. Everybody has a different balance. I think moss is super awesome. I'm really impressed with the trail quality so far. Everything is labeled very, very clearly. Also, guys, there's no garbage out here. I have yet to see one single piece yet. Now, according to the way that I keep pace and track of distance, we're about half a mile from the Balsam shelter. Not too bad. We're definitely making pretty good progress. It's still really early in the morning. That is a cool tree. Look at this. Little tree here grows into the big tree, keeps on going. That is cool. The bear population up here is pretty dang large. There's a lot of them. There's no doubt about it. But we are now starting to go into the winter season, and I highly doubt we'll see one. We may come up upon a bear's den though. That's very possible. I think that's a pretty common occurrence up here. Now guys, when you start going up in elevation, you start going into the forests, you really start to find some really odd tree formations. And this tree right here is a fantastic example of that. Look at this thing. It's like the X tree. X marks the spot, I suppose. I think that is sweet. Check out this beautiful spot, guys. This is known as the Brier Patch. This is a camping site. It's actually very, very pretty. Nice little spot just to chill, kind of relax here just a little bit. Woo. Definitely time just to cool off just a tad bit. There's a little bit of moisture stuck in this jacket, especially where the backpack is. I'm actually going to take this off and just let my back breathe. Go ahead and put my beanie back on. I think for now I'm just going to go with the thermal layer. I'm going to leave the shell off. Well guys, one thing that we don't really often talk about when we go backpacking and camping and stuff like that is when you have to use the bathroom. And I'm talking about number 2, Now guys, it's just one of those things that you kind of have to get used to doing. It's kind of an art, and you have to kind of practice to kind of get it right until you get comfortable. But I think I'm actually going to step off the trail here, find a good spot, and do what I got to do. But after that, we'll keep on heading up the mountain. We're saying goodbye to this sweet little Brier Patch camping spot. It's time to keep on trucking. I've definitely cooled off, and we have some elevation to gain, guys. That's a nice little spot too. I like it. Kind of secluded, off of the trail. Now, you know, that little spot right there, very open, also very, very windy. For me, it screams Hilleberg Octo tent. That would be the perfect spot. And this is the perfect trail. Bring that tent out and do some testing. Do an overnighter. We might have to do that. That tent is definitely light enough to haul up here. And also, it can withstand those winds. 2.5 miles. Look at this scenery, guys. This is amazing. As you can see, lots and lots of fallen trees. Guys, this is a cool little spot. I love this mossy rock. That is sick. Now, right now, guys, I'm a little bit off trail. I'm just doing a little bit of exploring, just kind of looking around here. Anytime that you go off trail, make sure that you can find your way back. That is so very important. Take a look at what's before us. We have to go up here. Well, let's go ahead and do it. Well, guys, we made it to the top here. Beautiful. Again, guys, I absolutely love all this moss. I love how this tree is growing on this rock. How cool is that? Since we're up here, guys, we'll go ahead and check out the viaduct view. Wow. Guys, welcome to my home. Down there is the viaduct. I'll zoom in on it for you. All right, time to continue on. Over here is the shelter, fellas. Guys and gals, take a look at it. Not too bad, actually. Very cool little shelter here. You have a piece of plastic in here that you can drape across this to kind of seal yourself in a little bit. Not bad at all. I'd say in the summer months you probably have to worry about some mice, but no big deal. And this is the Balsam shelter. The high Balsam shelter was first built during the dark and early days of World War II. And you definitely do not want to go any further than that. That's a cool little shelter too. Here's another little camping spot. Have a nice little elevated surface for your freestanding tent. Hey, that's pretty nice. Check this out, guys. Very first ladder. Okay. Now we have ladder number 2. We definitely have to be careful with these stairs here. They are iced over. So definitely going slow, making sure our footing's good is really, really important. Now check out this view, guys. Wow. Gorgeous. For the next section, we have cables to hold on to. Very steep indeed. Certainly, guys, the camera doesn't do it justice. Not only is it very beautiful, but it's also extremely steep. Here we have another ladder. As you can see, some snow in the ground. All right, guys, we have finally made it to the top here. And the view is awesome. Got a little bit of ice up here on top of the trees. And right where this guy's sitting is supposedly an X that kind of marks the spot right there. Yeah, 6,000 feet. Yeah. Incredible. All right, guys. We're leaving the top now. Time to head back down. Very, very cool. Now, for our next point of business, we need to go find the downed airplane. It's down here somewhere. I'm gonna find it. I think for now, I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera up since we're just rehashing the same old trip. But I will definitely bring you guys back once we find the plane, and especially once we hit the other trail that I talked about earlier. So guys, here it is. Here's the 2-engine Cessna that crashed 1978. There was one fatality, the pilot. Absolutely amazing. Pretty crazy to think that you're standing in a spot where someone crashed their plane and lost their life. Here's the cockpit. Here's part of the steering wheel at the time. There's the fuselage. N735 something something. Pretty crazy, folks. Pretty dang wild, guys, finding that airplane. Crazy. I thought you guys would definitely like that. Okay, well, I'm gonna put up the camera. We're gonna keep on trucking down the mountain here until we get to the Nuwadi Trail. Well, guys, we have made it back. Now it's time to take the Nuwadi Trail. I have to say, guys, that this has been a ton of fun. I've been talking to people up and down the trail here. This place is pretty popular. We did a good job by getting out here early because everybody else is just kind of showing up now. Now, with this section of the trail, I haven't actually been on this, so I really don't know what to expect. Alright guys, I'm going to show you something pretty dang awesome. Wow. Check this out, guys. This here is known as Boone Bowl. It is believed that it was formed by a glacier millions upon millions of years ago. Absolutely beautiful. Alright guys, we're just stopping here for a second, just taking a little breather. We've got less than, I don't know, a mile before we get back to the truck. It is just such a nice day. Feels great, kind of hot, and the shade's kind of cool, feels pretty good. Not bad. Overall, this has been an awesome trek. And it's been a long one too, for only being about 5 miles, 6 miles, something like that. It's been an all-day event. I've been talking to people up and down the trail here. Been having a pretty good time, really. Now, just like we do with our camping videos, or that we just started, we will have a video that's after the hike, and we'll discuss our gear, the clothing, and so on, and the trip itself. So make sure to pay attention to the channel, and look forward to that. Beautiful. This really has been a fantastic little hike. I've enjoyed this immensely. As far as technical goes, this is just about as technical as it gets here in my neck of the woods. Well guys, our adventure has come to an end on the awesome Daniel Boone Scout Trail up to Callaway Mountain. We're basically back at the parking lot. So guys, I want to say thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you guys. It's always a lot of fun. If you guys have any questions about the gear that I've used, the clothing, drop me a message down below. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.